were born before the wind, also younger than the sun. Yeah, the bonnie boat was one as we sail into the mystic.
Welcome to 3, the most innovative metaphysical program ever created. Join Chris, Rainey, and Mona as these amazing intuitives provide you with a three-dimensional divination into your most important questions. Now, from Las Vegas, the entertainment capital of the world, enjoy 3 with our hostess, Mona Van Joseph.
Welcome again to this wonderful episode of 3. How do you be on 3? You go to www.three.vegas and you go to the How to Be on 3 page, and then you fill out the contact form, and we put you in the order that you've emailed us to be on the program. I'm here with Chris Gray, our master astrologer, Rainey Day, our psychic medium, and me, I'm an intuitive tarot consultant, and we're here to answer your question in a very three-dimensional way so that your issue can be addressed in the most rounded way possible, in the most spiritual way possible. Now, we have Kristine with us in a moment, and we'll be right back after this break.
Good.
And we're back. We have Kristine. Hi, Kristine. Welcome to the program.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Oh, this is so wonderful that you're here. So the way the program works is you think of a very specific question, and before you ask the question, you can actually choose either Chris or Rainey or myself to answer the question first, and then you choose who answers the question second, and then by default, whoever's left over answers the question third. So who would you like to have answer your question first?
Okay, so is Chris is a gentleman, correct?
Chris is a lady right here.
Oh, Chris. Okay, Rainey's next to you, right?
Right.
Okay, let's go with Rainey.
Okay, you got it. All right. So what is your question?
My question is, I would like to know if I'm going to find my chapter 2 as far as relationship wise, because my husband passed away and I'm not having the best experience in the dating pool in Las Vegas.
Well, your first problem is Las Vegas.
Tell me about it.
Who is Beverly or Bev?
She works with me. She's one of our consultants.
She's somebody that you can lean on.
Okay.
She is also somebody that is going to be a catalyst to introduce you to your next person. But I'm being shown that that's not going to happen for a little while because you haven't healed. You haven't healed from the grief. That there's still a little bit of, and I hate to say baggage because that's not the right word, but heaviness. It feels like I'm dragging around a rock. It feels as though I need to heal from the inside out in order. Okay, one moment. I have someone else coming in for you. Stop, just a minute. Oh my gosh, I hate when that happens. It's like I lose my whole train of thought. It feels as though I'm stress eating. It feels as though I'm not taking care of not only my inside emotional balance, but my physical and health overall balance. It just feels like I am out of balance. That forever after, I don't see coming in right now. It doesn't mean that it won't come in. And I see energy only so far, my darling. And that's that free will. If I go left, I change the trajectory of my life. If I go right, I change the trajectory of my life. Right now, it feels like you're just kind of imbalanced and in neutral. Is that a fair statement?
Yeah, because I've been in and out of a relationship that's not a little, it's highly dysfunctional. But yeah.
I think I would call a pause to any kind of relationships right now. You don't need one. And it feels like it's the need that's being it's causing the law of resistance around you. It's kind of like I'm repelling. It's like I've gone through a car wash and I pay extra for that rain repellent. That's what's happening right now. You put on extra repellent. You have to be happy from the inside out first. You don't need that person to be happy, if that makes sense. I'm really concerned about your overall mind, body, and spirit. It just feels like that, so I lost my daughter in 2023, and then 6 months later lost my mom. And I feel that from death, sometimes I understand death. I know that it's not the end. I feel them all around me all the time. And it was actually a beautiful transition. But my darling, you haven't grieved. So if you would please grieve, and then get my emotional eating under control, and then feel happy where I'm at, then everything else will balance out. Because right now, my darling, you're in the car wash and you paid extra for this rain repellent. You are in the law of resistance, and where I want you to end up in the law of non-resistance. So I'm going to leave you with that for right now, my darling. I know you kind of popped off and you pop back
I'm
on, and you'll
back.
be able to rewatch this. You'll be able to
Yeah.
rewatch. And
Thank you.
any questions? I'm going to let this sit for a minute. I have this, it feels like a grandfather male figure around me, and I can't quite pull him close. Did your grandfather, and I'm not sure which side yet, I have an accent, and I'm like, I can't understand you. Did
Oh,
he,
really?
does that resonate with anybody, a grandfather figure? It might not have been a grandfather. It could have been like an uncle. But it has a very, he,
Are you talking about someone that is deceased or is still
yes,
here?
no, deceased.
Not that I recall. The reason I ask is there's someone that I have been seeing on and off that's from India. So he has a very thick accent and he's more of
No,
like in the friend zone.
no. Okay, so no more friend zones. No more even looking for love, because honey, you are looking for love in all the wrong places. You need to become whole and grieve and resolve these issues before you move forward. And and I say that with love and grace, and you understand what I'm saying. So
Oh,
I'm gonna
no,
pass
I've
this
already
on
made
to,
that decision.
yeah. And who would you like to read next? Read you next.
Let's go with Mona.
Okay. All right, so I'm going to do a quick clearing of the cards for you here. Drawing my cards with the left hand because it's closest to my heart.
Okay.
Okay, so love is not supposed to be the hard way for you. So when we're looking at this spread of cards, you're going to see a card called possibilities. Now it resonates the number 2. So that does mean love's going to find you, but love finds you because of your job. So it's either somebody that you know through work that introduces you to somebody else, like it could be a woman's brother or a woman's cousin or something that gets invited to an event that you happen to be at. But it's saying that because of the job you're at right now, you get introduced to somebody brand new. The postponement card reversed means that you're finally cutting away what's not working for you. So I'm going to echo what Rainey said, that this is time for you to have a vacation from dating. And I would actually make it very light like that. I'm on vacation from dating right now. I am a virgin right now. I am not dating. And the reason I say that is that it feels like you've been drawing a lot of people to you. And this is not just men. I feel like there are people being drawn to you that are taking advantage of you in some way.
Yeah,
And
most
that,
definitely.
yeah. And so now the card called silence, which is smack in the middle of your reading, is you making you a priority. This is the balance of spiritual and the physical for you. And what it's saying is that you're not going to do anything that causes yourself harm. You're not going to do anything that makes you feel uncomfortable. And the next card is a card called courage. Now, I love, 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 love this card because it shows a daisy that's grown between rocks, just enough nutrients, moisture to hold right there. And that seed germinated and it grew right there between the rocks. Well, that's you. You've done it the hard way. All right.
Right.
Your magnificence is already here and in bloom. It's, as a matter of fact, if that daisy was in a field of daisies, you'd never see it. But because it grew here, you can't help but notice it. People can't help but notice you. All right. And you need to go into that vibration that you are perfect absolutely perfect the way you are. Then the next card is called sharing. Now it's reversed, which means you have been a compulsive giver to the people around you. All right. That in order for you to make a good impression, you do something nice for them. And what happens is that you end up spreading yourself so thin that you end up suffering over the fact that you're trying to be gracious and generous to someone. Well, it's saying to pull back and not be so much of a giver. I love to use this example. If someone were to say to you, Kristine, gee, I really love the way you make your chocolate chip cookies. So that night you go to the grocery store, you make 6 dozen chocolate chip cookies, and you bring them and put them on their desk, right? Instead of saying,
Right.
oh, I'm so happy you like them, I'll send you the recipe, right?
Got it.
So what it's saying is, I don't mind that you're a giver. I don't mind that you want to participate with people, but I want you to wait until you're asked. Because when you're asked, then you can turn around and say, well, if I do this for you, maybe you could do this other thing for me. You see what I mean?
Right.
Now
Got
it
it.
becomes more of a barter and more reciprocal, which that hasn't happened. It's been very one-sided because you know so many people and so many people owe you favors. You could make a phone call tomorrow and probably get 2 free tickets to Adele because you know the person. And what it's saying is that we don't do that compulsively. Do you see what I mean? It's like you don't do it because you can. You do it because someone asks you if you want to. And you have the most perfect response to someone asking you. Like if they said, hey, Kristine, do you have a connection to the Golden Knights? You say, well, why do you ask? You don't automatically go, yes, I do. You say, well, gee, why do you ask? Right?
Got
Oh,
it.
I
Got
think you
it.
can get a couple of tickets. Oh, well, I don't really have that connection that way because I don't like to take advantage of my friendships.
Got it.
All right. So what this is saying here is that you're pulling back and sort of recharging your strength again. So I'm going to turn this over to Chris because she can't wait to talk to you. So
Hello.
Hi,
Have you ever had an astrology reading before?
I have.
Okay, great. And so I have you as a well, there was a little bit of hiccup with your time of birth, but I have you as a Capricorn rising. Does that resonate with you? Of what you've heard? Okay, good.
Mhm.
All right. So I had to kind of adjust your birth chart just a little bit, but I feel like we're really close just based upon the updated time. So I have
Okay.
so you're rising as the Capricorn and your sun is the Sagittarius. But as it relates to your rising, so the rising sign is so significant and it's so personal to us because it's based upon your birthday, location, and exact time you were born, and it directs your entire chart. So all of your placements talk about different experiences and life events. And then also that's how we're able to predict any kind of upcoming events. And so before I answer your question, I want to touch a little bit on your birth chart, but I won't go into too much since you've already had one. But being that Capricorn rising, you're very career oriented, very ambitious about your career. You're almost a workaholic. And you have this other placement that talks about you put a lot of energy into your work. You put a lot of time and focus. I'm a workaholic too, so I can totally relate to this. But so I don't mean this in a negative way, but it seems like maybe when there's something going on, you use work as a way to kind of distract yourself. But it's also good because you're really good at what you do. And you have this placement where it shows that you're some type of leader or organizer. You put together events or you organize events or maybe even meetings or agendas or something like that, where you're really good at connecting people. So people and events and aligning them and coordinating them and making sure that everything's just planned out. And with that Capricorn rising, you're also very detail oriented about the way that you go about doing it. And now there is this really strong placement as well that talks about you being really connected to female energy. So usually when I see this, this is a strong connection to the mother and or feminine energy, grandmother or aunt. And also it says that you are very lucky when it comes to females. If you were to network or, have relationships with females, through females, they bring you opportunities. It's very lucky for your career. Also, you have this knack for knowing intuitively what your audience or what your clients want. So you're able to give the services or product the way that what people need. So you're intuitive about what it is that your audience and your clients want. And it's strongly connected to that feminine energy. So it's almost like you're intuitive about it. So to answer your question, I'm going to give it about 13 months is when I see a new love potential coming in. So you have right now some current transits that will indicate some unpredictability, maybe not so much erratic, but partnerships are kind of erratic right now.
Extremely.
And they're just kind of fleeting too. So you may have like very short-lived kind of romances, not because you want that, but because for whatever reason the partner it's just not right. It's just the timing's not right.
Right.
I'm going to definitely mimic what Rainey and Mona said about now is just not the time to date. But within the next probably 13 months, there's going to be numerous opportunities for you to have long-lasting, committed type relationships. So also, like Mona said, it's connected through your work. I definitely see you meeting somebody through work or being out in the public. I see you actually like some type of role where people know you or you're a visible role. So that love connection there's an opportunity for it to come through there.
Right. Yeah, I work in the media, so I'm out everywhere.
Oh,
I also see a twin flame coming in. And normally when I see twin flames, I'm like, X-nay on the twin flame A, because they are not that good. But they're not 9 out of 10. You're like, oh my God, what just happened to me? But this twin flame is really positive. This is because when Chris was talking about your relationships, I looked over at the clock in front of us. It said 12:22:22, and that immediately is like the twin flame in a very positive light. It's one where you support each other, and it's also one where you build each other up. And actually, when you're usually twin flames, when it's just you and this person, it's wonderful. But when you get into the outside world, that's when all of this craziness happens. Yours seems very flowy, and your time frame is pretty close. I think it might be just a little longer because there's some things that have to take place in your own mind, body, and spirit to cleanse and purge out and grieve and move forward. And you saw in her life getting out there and doing things, that's how she's going to meet this person. I kind of see that, but I also kind of see it in like a walking club or a club that helps each other heal from grief or something like that. I'm gonna leave you with that.
So my big thing was, it's time for you to let go of people, men and women, that have proven to you they're not loyal to you. So it's time for you to take a big step back. So instead of you having your feelings hurt because of feeling ghosted or eliminated or not acknowledged, I want you to look at them as that they just don't get it with you. Because I know that when you're loyal to someone, that if they pointed out a dragon to be slain, you'd be the first one whipping out your sword to slay the dragon. I mean, it's just how you're wired. But there are people around you right now, and I'm talking both men and women, that need to be in your past. And it might take you a few months to sort of wean yourself away from them. But the way to do that is by connecting with new people that are a little bit more spiritually aligned with how you look at your future. But I'm really getting that. So I gotta address the word female, okay? because it's a word I don't like. And I'm not picking on you, Chris, because you don't know why I don't like that word. So I'm going to tell you why I don't like that word. When a woman is referred to as a female, the only thing you're referring to on her is her gender, right? When you refer to a woman as a woman, you're referring to all of the femininity that go along with being a woman. We're not choosing puppies or kittens if they're male or female. We don't refer to men as males. You never say, oh, there's a male out there we're not dealing with. So the word female is a one-dimensional view. But in this case, when she used the word female, I think she was using it correctly, because there are females out there that don't deserve to be women in your life. Do you see what I mean?
Oh, these are females.
These are I'm sorry, there are some,
Husters.
these are hoochie mamas around you that are friendship gold diggers. And I'm sorry to like put it like that. But
No, I call them social climbers. They want to be in my social circle for the wrong reasons.
Exactly. And then there are people around you that give to you with nothing expected back.
Right.
Those are the women you want to align with. But it's funny because it's like I use the word female as an insult. All right. So when she was saying females, it's like I immediately said there are females that Kristine needs to step away from. All right. But
Right.
there are women that you need to embrace. And
Right.
it's and it's going to be so apparent to you in the next 2 months. There's something about between now and I'd say October where you're culling away the people that don't deserve to be in your life.
Right.
Who is Sir Harris, Sir Harry Harris? This is a living person.
Yeah,
There's things that you need to stick with that person. And you're talking about eliminating, it is associated with this Harry or Harris person.
You're telling me I should eliminate that person?
The women, no, that's the person you should stay with. But the women in that, I don't know if it's
are
a
you
social or an
toxic
office.
Women around?
Yeah, they're potsters, and I don't know who Harrison is, but in that realm, Sir, I keep hearing Sir Harrison,
okay.
Harry. In that realm, it feels like it's a building with a lot of people. The women in that building and in that area are just potsters, so you don't have to really include them in your life.
Yeah,
I don't know if that makes sense. I don't even know what I'm saying.
You want to step back from.
Yeah. No, it made sense. I work for an attorney that's his last name is Harris.
Are you? Stop it!
I didn't know that.
My butterflies are flying off my shoulder.
So Chris can't wait to say something. So
you mentioned the time that you think that the timing of this new love is a little longer. I had to adjust your time. So I was looking at the old time. So probably more like 15 months, or it's really hard to tell because I don't have it in front of me, but that would explain.
Chills.
And that adjustment there was needed. Okay, so I wanted to touch on your point, Mona's point about there's going to be some relationships and people that you need to sever. And so there's this really big transit that's going on for you. It's the Aries Libra eclipse series. It started about a year ago, somewhere probably around March or April of last year. I don't have the exact timing just because we did have to adjust your chart, but it's a theme that's going to continue for the next, give it probably the next year and a half for you, maybe even a little longer. But what it talks about is there's going to be a period of evaluation. You're going to be evaluating relationships, friendships, any type of partnerships. This could be coworkers. This could be friendships, associations, and you're going to be evaluating them and determining whether they deserve to be a part of your energy or your generosity. And so the other side to that is you're also going to be defining your sense of self, and the end result of you defining your sense of self is actually going to come from the relationships that you decide to sever, because these people, they don't deserve your generosity, they don't deserve your energy.
Right.
And so you're going to be eliminating and severing and evaluating, and through that process is when you start really determining and defining and building that strong sense of self.
Some
I
of
love
it,
that.
some of it is with grace, and some of it is not with grace, and that's okay. It's called righteous anger. Thank you, Jesus.
All right, Kristine. So just for a second, what did you think about being on 3?
Oh, I think
We
we
can't
lost
hear.
her
No,
volume.
she's muted. Can we
Okay, what I said is I thank you for the opportunity, because you guys hit the nail on the head on quite a few things. And when you're talking about cleaning house on relationships, I've been doing that probably the past 7 months, but real heavy probably like the past 4. So, and
Wow.
I'm doing some other things that I'm working on from a self-improvement or not issue, but from a self-improvement place. And I've just recently removed 2 very toxic men from my life. And
Girl.
yeah, so you guys are right on point. So thank you for that. You've really given me that extra clarity that I know I've made the right decision, because I struggle sometimes. The narcissist likes to make you think that you're being mean or uncaring. So you guys gave me the justification that I needed to know that I'm headed in the right direction. So thank you for that.
Okay, wait,
I
Chris.
have to touch on that, because what I have noticed with where these eclipses fall in your chart, it always resonates with narcissists and narcissistic people trying to control you, power struggles. So I'm so glad that you said that. So yes, you are on the right
Yeah.
path.
That's a
Yeah,
life
for sure.
lesson for you.
Absolutely.
That is a soul
absolutely.
contract life lesson for you. And as soon as you master that, life is beautiful.
Oh,
Thank you. Thank all 3 of you.
program. Oh my gosh. We can't wait to hear from you in a few months. Thank you so much.
God bless.
All right,
Kristine.
you guys. Wow. Wow. Getting right to the point with our people calling in, man. It's so good. So good.
So
All right.
specific. The Harrison.
Oh,
I thought my
amazing.
butterflies are going to fly off my arm.
They do it a lot.
I know,
lately.
what the
I
hell?
know. It's all cool. All right, you guys. Subscribe to WWDB TV. Tune in on every new program, which we do Tuesdays and Thursdays every week. Go to www.3.vegas. Thank you, ladies, for joining
Thank
me
you,
again.
Mona.
And we'll see you next time.
God bless.